was going to say, for one, this is not my sleeper pick. I already picked Utah, but this is just a good. I think this is going to be a good football team. Iowa football, they went 10-4 last year, but they lost 31-0 to Michigan, 26-0 to Penn State, and 35-0 to Tennessee.
Let's pull up there. You keep going. I'm on.
And Minnesota barely beat them. 19 starters back, Matt. 19. Well, actually 20, because you know who their quarterback is? Cade McNamara. Do you remember Cade McNamara?
Oh, McNamara.
Used to play at Michigan. Started. He will be their quarterback. LaShawn Williams and Caleb Johnson are the running backs. They had 1,300 yards combined. Okay, let me tell you a little something about Iowa before I go any further. They have one of the top 10 worst offenses in the country last year. But they have one of the top 10 best defenses.
If you can't score but 20, then it don't matter if you don't have to score but 21 and win.
15 points a game. Guys, they went 10-4. 10-4. But they beat no ranked opponents. Nobody. 19 starters back. LaShawn Williams, Caleb Johnson, 1,300 yards. 4 linemen back. Both wide receivers back. But where they make their money's on defense, Matt. 281 yards a game last year. Jay Higgins is back at middle linebacker. He is one of the top backers in the country. Why don't you just take a guess how many tackles he made last year? And it's ridiculous.
112.
170.
70. God,
and college is very rough on who tackles who. They don't just give tackles out, do they?
Sure, no.
He made 171. He's back. So is Nick Jackson, 110 tackles. Sebastian Castro, that's a great name, is also back. Whole D-line's back, Matt, and 3 in the secondary.
Dang.
I mean, from what I've said so far, what do you think? But when they played anybody, they got all this experience. They got all this experience back. Obviously, they're going to be better on defense. I mean, Tennessee, Michigan, and Penn State beat them a combined 92-0.
That's not good.
I think they'll go 9-3 or 8-4. Let's check out their schedule.
Let's look at the schedule.
It's not very tough. It's not tough. Experts got them going 10-2. And they're not happy about Caden Proctor. They were very excited to get him back.
And he left again. Again.
Caden Proctor has not made a lot of fans in the last year, has he? No. You don't care for him anyway, do you?
Well, I'm not a big proponent of
transferring and then transferring back.
Yeah, you can't. I don't like that.
I don't know. It's interesting. But yes, they were really high on him. And but I mean, they got 4 linemen back. They had 5. Proctor had stayed.
Let's look at those. How does this happen to me?
They did not have a tough schedule.
Why me, God? Why? First game.
Kill me.
August 31st on Saturday at noon. Big Ten Network Day. They're gonna have Illinois State Redbirds.
I think that's a W, don't you?
Yeah. Iowa State Cyclones the 7th.
Now wait, it's not Iowa State not supposed to be good.
Yeah.
And that's a rivalry game. But where's it at?
It is. It's in Iowa.
Well, that could go either way. I'll give it to them.
Their first 3 games are at home. Then they go to Minneapolis.
I thought all of them was at home. I'm serious. They got a bunch.
Troy, they have. Okay, so we'll say Iowa State will be a toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put them at 1. They got Troy coming in. So that'll be 2-1 at the time. They go to Minnesota. We'll say 3-1. Then they're off. September 28th, podcast listeners looking at Iowa's schedule. Now, here's where it gets interesting. October the 5th.
Ohio State.
At Ohio State.
Yeah, they get 8 home games, but they got to go to Ohio State. All right. I think that's an L.
Okay.
I'm interested in that next
October the 12th. They will play at home versus the Huskies.
Who lost a lot.
And Coach Fish from Arizona.
I just give it to them. They got them at home. Okay, I'll put it like this. I think Iowa State or Washington, not both. I think one of them will get them.
Yeah. At Michigan State, the 29th could be a 12, 3:30 or 7:30 game.
Michigan State, new coach. They've had a lot of problems. I still think Iowa may go in there and win that.
Then they come home and play Northwestern the 26th, Halloween area weekend. That's going to be Iowa win that one.
What about Wisconsin? Yeah, they'll beat Northwestern.
But then Wisconsin now,
that's
coach,
a toss-up.
Fickle and Einhorn.
He's done a good job.
Finkel and Einhorn.
Great kicker.
The laces out.
Dan Marino runned him.
God darn you, Dan. Kill down with Dan.
I don't know. That's a toss-up. Their schedule may be a little tougher than I thought.
November 2nd, Wisconsin. Yeah.
I'll give it to them. Let's just say they've lost 2 at this time.
They've lost to who?
I'd say they lost to Ohio State and either Washington.
Iowa State and Ohio State. Okay, they got 2 losses. Then they go to UCLA. UCLA is a dumpster fire.
Is there any way they not
Coach Foster don't
lose that game?
They lost all their players transferred. They don't even know. I swear I read an article that was that the AD was like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to field a team this year or not. I mean, it's not good.
Do you don't think there's no way they lose that game?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
They're going to make a trip to California and get some sun on their old white skins from the northern hemisphere, Iowa. Then they'll get to be off. Then they'll finish at Maryland November 23rd.
Then they got one
win.
Yeah.
Then
I think they'll win.
They come home and play Nebraska. Now, by then.
That is a rival. That has become a huge rival.
6:30 on NBC or Peacock. They already got the time and the station pick. Nebraska and Iowa to lock up at Iowa.
And they're dead even every year. You know, I think Nebraska beats them. I think they win 8 or 9. What do you think? Which is not as good as last year.
Well, by that time of the year, we're going to know.
But we've decided that all schedules are a little tougher this year than they were last year. This does not mean Iowa's not as good as they were last year. But 19 starters back in 8 home games.
9-3.
9-3. I'm agree with you.
They'll lose to Nebraska, Ohio State, and Iowa State. And where was? Let me go back. We dilly-dallied about the Washington game, but it's at Iowa.
It's at Iowa. Wisconsin's at Iowa. Nebraska's actually at Iowa. Iowa State's actually at Iowa.
They're going to lose one of them. They should win, though.
Somebody will upset.
That's what the third one is.
Yeah.
We kind of got them locked in for Nebraska, Ohio State loss. That's pretty much locked. But now there's maybe 1 or 2. They may lose one of those home games they shouldn't lose.
They go no worse than 8-4.
But if they lose to Wisconsin or Washington, you're not going to go, why darn it.
Yeah, fire Ferentz. That's his name.
Yeah, fire Ferentz. He's done. Get this crap out of here.
With trash.
All the waving to the kids at the hospital. That's crap. Get him out of here. I don't care about waving no kids.
They say he's like, as far as hot seat, I don't think he's ever been
I've never heard it. Never, ever heard it. It's only SEC team. You notice that? It's like Napier, or if Freeze goes 6-6 again, they burning his butt out of Auburn. I mean,
now they were a little bit on Ferentz last year because I think even their fans, who are they're not difficult.
Well,
but their offense was bad.
That's bad. But you got to be realistic.
Yeah,
you're recruiting against. Now you got Fickle at Wisconsin, Ryan Day and Chip Kelly at stinking Ohio State. And Harbaugh's been at Michigan for years and years. He's just been thumping everybody. They just won the national championship.
Just won it. Minnesota's not terrible. Then you're over there by Nebraska.
And Penn State is not bad.
You got Iowa State in your state.
They're good.
Yeah. You boarded the Kansases.
They're notable. And Kansas has been better in football in the past 2 or 3 years.
But I'm telling you, and I don't just keep saying this, I don't want nobody to hate Caden Proctor. They were very excited about him coming back.
What you read there, that they was up about that.
Yes, very much. Oh, he's a stud. I mean, he'll start at Alabama.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the reasons we think Alabama's going to be decent. Where whatever he did,
well,
they're going to rerun him behind him.
On the game, NCAA football, if that gives any intuition towards anything, I'll tell you, Alabama's offensive line, they put stars on the players that are like, that usually means they're going to be NFL draft pick type players. Well, Alabama's got 4.
On the line?
Yeah. All of them except the right tackle.
He's probably better than all of them.
Left tackle, left guard, and the center, Brockemeyer, kid from Washington. It was all conference, all American, AC's
and could have
greatest
been the reason
lineman,
McLaughlin left.
Best lineman awarded group, the center of that. So,
right. I think Iowa goes
9-3's
9-3, 8-4, not 10-2.
They won 10 last year.
Yeah, but they've got a slightly tougher schedule. You got Ohio State thrown in there now, which they did play Ohio. They did not play Ohio State last year. They played Michigan and Penn State. Well,
that's their third loss.
But they've got.
So they're going to be just as good as they was last year.
Just as good.
They're going to catch Ohio State. I would assume they're that team that just don't.
5-1.
Is maybe? Ohio State the Ole Miss of the North? You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
They don't finish. They don't.
I don't know what it is.
They can't.
They have a week where they don't, and Jeff knows this.
They win 10, 11 games year after year after year, and there's some game that they should win.
Mm-hmm. Oklahoma did that for years under Stoops. They'd lose one every year. And you'd be like, what?
Ole Miss has played Bama. They've had to play Bama for years. Now they don't play them this year, right?
Right.
So that's maybe Lane's year to.
Oh, and let me say one more thing about Iowa. With the breaks, they possibly get in this 12-team playoff. Now, they'll have to go 10-2.
They'll have to beat one of those teams.
They'll have to go 10-2.
One of those games that we're thinking, they cannot lose to Washington or Wisconsin.
No.